Welcome to Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi Sperduto, the podcast that's like having a personal business coach in your pocket, giving you bite-sized tips and small mindset shifts every week. I'm your host, Chrissi Sperduto. I'm a network marketer turned productivity and mindset coach who grew her businesses while holding down a successful career in aviation. I'm on a mission to help you fit your business into everyday life. I believe you are capable of achieving success no matter how chaotic your life is. Consider me your no-nonsense guide to getting it all done. Join me here on the podcast each week where we'll chat everything from systems to help you fit your business into real life, to business and marketing tips, plus time management hacks, mindset shifts that can help you find the courage to take the next step in your business, and real life stories to inspire and empower you to go after your goals. Let's go, CEO. We have work to do. Grab your favorite cup of coffee or wine, no judgment, and let's get ready to ditch those inner mean girl thoughts ringing in the back of your head so you can embrace your inner badass and go do the dang thing. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to the podcast. Really excited about this week. I'm going to do something a little bit different, but something that I always recommend to my students to do, and that is to repurpose content. You may have noticed that this week's podcast is a lot longer than it ever is. I pride myself in actually keeping most episodes between 15 and 20 minutes and keeping them super digestible, super short. But this week, I actually hosted a webinar on Monday all about how you could have the best summer yet. How you can have a summer that is both profitable and fun all at the same time. And I really think that this is something that is missing from a lot of coaches' curriculum. Like, we only talk about the growth, and I want to talk about fitting your business into real life. So this week I am going to share the full recording of the webinar with you, questions and all, and I hope that you find some value in this. Now, I do reference throughout the recording a workbook, and you can find the workbook. I'm going to link it in the show notes below, but you can also find the workbook at chrissisperduto.com/summer. And that's where the full recording is if you would prefer to watch the recording with the slides, or it's up on my YouTube channel, or just listen. And I'm sure that there's going to be things that you can glean from it just by listening to it. As always, thank you for being here, and I will be back next week with our normal content. Have a great week. We will go ahead and get started because I have a lot to cover today, and I'm so excited for this. This is something that's near and dear to my heart, so I'm very excited to share some of the principles that I've learned over the last couple of summers with you guys. So I have to say, I'm so proud of you guys for making the time to be here live and investing in your growth. It can be so easy, especially in the hustle and bustle of summer, to just say, oh, I'll watch the replay. And then we know how that goes. We never actually get around to watching the replay. So congratulations on being less than the 5% of people who sign up for an online course or a webinar that actually goes to it and actually completes it, whether you're here live or you're watching the replay. Good job. I'm really proud of you. So, and if you ever host webinars or courses or anything live, always encourage the live attendance, because that's really where the dynamics come in and we get to have a little bit more fun. There's a lot more energy. And I am going to ask you guys to participate as we go through this. But first, let me tell you what I am all about. I promise you, if you spend 1 hour with me today, I'm going to give you all the tools to have a fun yet profitable summer, right? We're not in business to be charities. We are here to make money, to help our families, to help people that we are led to serve. So this really is a topic that is near and dear to my heart because I was you not very long ago. I'm not sure if you guys saw any of my reels or my emails this week, especially the ones that I posted yesterday that were so hard for me to post. But my story involves burning out, feeling a ton of resentment towards my business, and focusing too much on the things that didn't matter. It took my husband saying to me, "You are always working. You never have time for us." Or, "You said that you were almost done and it's been an hour. What the heck?" That, when he finally said that to me, made me snap out of it. And then I had to learn all of the things that I'm about to teach you the hard way. So I want to give you today the tools and the shortcuts that I wish that I had a couple of summers ago. I'm curious. Here's the participation part. Why are you here? What are you hoping to gain? Or what's your biggest struggle when it comes to working and balancing the chaos of summer? Go ahead and put it in the chat. And I am expecting participation today. I see lots of familiar faces. And it's always more fun and reassuring when we know that there are others that are walking the same path as us. So please, please put something in the chat. Now, the question is, where do I find the chat? There it is. I'm not going any further till someone puts something in the chat. So be brave. I'm telling me, balancing all the things, the fun and the work. Yes, there's always so much to do. And if you're already kind of feeling overwhelmed when it comes to all the things that summer brings, the fun, the work, um, you are not alone, especially if you have kiddos at home. And I'm just going to like kind of address the elephant in the room here. I do not have kids, so I do not pretend to know what it's like to be a mom running a business. But I am someone that has a full-time job, runs two businesses, and makes time for all of my fun social engagements. We have wine club coming up this weekend. I'm so excited for that. And that's something that I make time for every single month if I am available. Shannon and I actually met via wine night. So Shannon is looking to balance her health while keep my business going while I'm recovering. Shannon, you are such a brave soul. I'm so happy that you're here today. And I hope some of these tips really help you. Michelle, she understands. She's a nurse working full time, mom of three kids, and I'm really passionate about building my own business to help busy mamas use the holistic approach to take control of their health. I love that, Michelle. And I will just add here that taking care of your health is also a really pivotal part of running a sustainable business. You can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your family unless you take care of yourself first. So I did not include a ton about taking care of your health today, but you guys do know that I'm really passionate about that. I have a couple podcast episodes about that. If you need a little bit of help and permission to balance that within the chaos. So Anna says, making sure I not only get to get work done, but also make time for my kids and make memories with them. I love that. Yes. You're going to see the first thing that I talk about is making the memories first. Rihanna says, I'm looking forward to balancing health, wellness, building a house, and trying to take some personal time to enjoy life. Yes. I don't know if I've told you this before, but I've actually built three houses. And so I understand building a business while you build a house and how it can be frustrating. And all of a sudden, you have to drop your entire plan for the day to go take care of some emergency with your house. So I feel you on that. Nikki says balancing everything, new items added to business, new clients, two rambunctious toddlers. Of course, I have my tried and true go-tos, but I'm always happy to learn new tips and tricks. Absolutely. Lisa wants to plan around fun. Michelle says, you amaze me with all that you do, Chrissy. Well, I'm giving you all my secrets today. So there's going to be nothing left on the table. If you are brand new to me, I think everyone is friends here. I feel like I know you guys all so well, but if you're brand new to me, listening to the replay or listening to this on my podcast, welcome. I am so excited that you are here. I am Chrissy. I got my start in the online business space in network marketing, and last summer I made a pivot to coaching business owners. I'm married to my best friend, Brian here. This is our dog, BB. And my friends call me the queen of systems because I am always coming up with new ways to automate or systemize things to save myself time and mental bandwidth. Entrepreneurship has been such a huge part of my life, and both of my parents have been business owners on and off my entire life. I started my first side hustle as a kid, helping my uncle with marketing materials for his real estate business. And then at just 16 years old, I started my own plane washing business at the airport. I've always had some sort of side hustle. I've helped an author write a book. I've published articles in prestigious magazines. I've dabbled in photography. Hasn't everyone? I worked as a virtual assistant in 2019, and I started my own direct sales business, most of which I did while holding down an amazingly rewarding full-time job as an air traffic controller and never missing a beat in my social life. Wine night is so important. And the reason why I mention this is because with all of it going on, I've always had to be strategic with my time. So from the very beginning of launching my direct sales business, I had to have systems that work in place. I had to have a plan in place because I don't have time every day to work on my business. So I had to be strategic with the limited time that I did have. And funny enough, I find that I'm way more productive when I have a full plate because I don't have time to mess around. There's no room for the mental drama. So I have enough to teach you in this hour. So enough of that. Let's jump right in head first. Why are we worried about summer activities? Why can't we just go float in the pool from now until September 1st? I mean, you totally could. Um, but I hope you have some good sunblock. I learned that the hard way this weekend. But really, quarter four sales are made here in quarter three. The foundation that you lay over the next 60 to 90 days is going to be where your sales September to December come from, which I know is not completely quarter four, but you're tracking. And if you disappear over the next 60 days, you have now just lost trust with your audience. Even though not everyone is posting right now, people are still engaging with the app. They're still looking for solutions to their problems, just maybe not in the droves that they normally are when school is in session. But if you disappear, you've essentially lost momentum. And I'm here to tell you, after experiencing this myself, it is way easier to keep your momentum than it is to start over in September. How many of you have ever had to start your business over? Like you stop posting to social media for a month or more, and you're like, "Ugh, I gotta start over. This feels like pulling teeth, right? Um, it will take you significantly less energy to show up half-assed this summer and then kick it into high gear in the fall than it will for you to try to restart in the fall. Okay, so just keep that in mind. As I'm throwing out ideas, you do not have to take all of them. Take what works for you and run with it. And even if you put 30% of what I'm about to show you into action, it's still going to be better than nothing. And I have no idea how to put my hand down now. I don't know how I raised my hand on Zoom, but we're running with it. I want you to consider working this summer like putting wood on a fire to keep the coals of the fire warm. We're not looking to make a big roaring fire. We're not looking to make, giant piles of s'mores. We just want a little teeny tiny kindling that's warm. We want to keep it going. We don't want to let it go out. You never want to let the fire go out when you're camping, right? Because then you got to start it all over. So we just want a nice little day fire where we're keeping the coals warm. We're putting a log on every hour. And then in the fall, when you're ready to make a ton of money, we're going to put a whole bunch of wood on that fire and it's already warm. So we're going to have tons of abundance and tons of money coming into your business. Now, if you do not have momentum yet, that is okay too. I'm going to show you a few ways that you can create momentum in just a few minutes per day. We're going to get your fire going to begin with. Okay. But before we can go over the how, we need to address the mindset that I see plaguing business owners. It is the either or mindset. And it is just simply not true. You can carve out time to work your business and time for fun. You can have both. Our brains love to tell us that we can't, but I'm here to tell you that we can. And you can do it in a sustainable way too. In my opinion, having a plan ahead of time instead of trying to wing it is crucial. When we try to wing it, it becomes just another thing to figure out and on the fly, and rather than just something that we do. So you're probably thinking, but Chrissy, I am so dang busy in the summer. I really don't know how to put my hand down. That's like kind of, oh, there we go, lower hand. You guys are allowed to laugh at me. So you're probably thinking, Chrissy, I am so busy in the summer. And my answer is welcome to life. It is never going to slow down or be less busy. My friend, I'm going to call out Jocelyn here for a second. My friend Jocelyn just joined the chat. She has 4 kids. And the number of things that this woman gets done just amazes me. And so she could either use her kids as an excuse and like all the things that she does as an excuse, or use it as fuel to her fire. But things are never going to slow down. Things are never going to be less busy. But what can we do with the time that we do have? How can we be more productive in the small slivers of time that we do have? How can we be more intentional and carve out time intentionally so we don't have to restart every quarter? And sometimes I joke, if you were to take all that time that you spend complaining about how busy you are and spent it working, How much time would you have? So let's talk about the how. Today we are going to, too fast. Today we are going to figure out a plan that works for you, and you will have tools in your workbook to help you personalize it for your business. So I'm going to kind of give you the concepts today, and then the workbook is going to be how you dig in and make it unique for your business. So if you haven't downloaded the workbook, I'll leave the QR code up for just a second. Go ahead and download it. And because this is really going to help you maximize what you're doing here, and craft your personalized plan that works for you. Raise your hand if you need me to pause so you can get the QR code. Did everyone grab it already? Sweet. Okay. And by the way, I do want to mention here as well, your summer plan should look different than your spring or your holiday plan. Each season in our lives and our businesses are unique. I try to about every quarter reevaluate what my work time is going to look like, how much other things I want to do, how much I want to work, what I want to launch based on that specific season. And if you are already a couple of weeks into the summer, I know here in Texas, we've been on summer break for a couple weeks already, and you're already kind of feeling overwhelmed, don't worry. There's still plenty of time to come up with your plan and implement. I got you. Stick with me. Okay. Today, we are going to talk about 3 pillars. The first one, which is going to be the longest, is sunshine. This is planning your business around your life. Then we are going to talk about sustainable systems. This is how we free up our time and our mental bandwidth. And I will note here, I originally called this webinar Sunshine Sustainable. What did I call it? It was a different word than systems, but I ended up changing it to systems in the 11th hour because it just made more sense. So here's your permission slip to just go with it. And then sales. These are the high impact activities that help you with conversions and growth. Okay, let's hop right into sunshine, okay? The mindset that we need for this section is, and I'm going to say something that I really needed to hear 2 summers ago. Life is too short to live to work. Work for me was an addiction. And I was always chasing the next post, the next reel, the next viral video, the next thing I could launch, the next sale, the next comment on my post. But from personal experience, that's not how we want to live. And I'm here to tell you that you can have harmony between your life and your business. Notice how I don't say balance, because there's no such thing as balance. It's never going to be 50-50. It's going to be an ebb and a flow based on the season you're in. And every season, like I said before, is an opportunity to replan and set your business up to work for your life. In order to really be successful with this planning exercise, we need to start with the why. And I know every webinar you've ever been to is always start with your why, start with your why. But really, this is going to be important as we consider the work that we have to put in, the mental bandwidth that we have to put in. Why is your business important to you? Why is it important to plan your week? Why is it important to set and keep boundaries in your business? Why is it important to ask our families for help? And if we skip this step, the rest of the work really is pretty darn useless, because when things get hard and our families push our boundaries, if we're not anchored to our dream of why we're working our butts off to build this business, we'll let our boundaries slip and we'll fall back into bad habits, essentially all the work that we'll be doing today is useless. No problem, Irina. We'll see you again very soon. No worries if you have to go. I know life happens. So come back and watch the replay. I'll get it uploaded as soon as Zoom finishes, doing its thing after a Zoom call. I have found that a lot of the time kids and spouses will get annoyed when they see us working because they think we're just messing around. We're just hanging out on our computers. We're just scrolling on our phone, that what we're doing isn't important. And I see this a lot, especially for my friends at the very beginning of their businesses, because it can be so easy for our spouses to write off the time that we pour into our businesses when we're not making a ton of money yet. And growing a business, the first bit of growing a business is a lot of labor for very little return on investment. My husband didn't understand, and my husband is like the most understanding person you will ever meet. He did not understand why I was so adamant about working, about building a business. It was hard for him because we both have really good full-time jobs. It wasn't until I sat him down and said, building a business is important to me because I want to help people not struggle like I did when I was building my network marketing business. And I'm asking you to support me in this. And then things started to change for us. There was more respect, there was more patience, and more understanding. And sometimes we even now brainstorm at the dinner table, and he has awesome things to add to the conversation. He has even been in a couple of my videos for the new business roadmap, which I think is so fun to have someone that's on board. So if you don't have someone that's on board with you, we're going to talk about that. Being intentional, having a plan, communicating what the plan looks like is going to score you so many points in the spouse department. And your workbook will lay out all the pieces that you need to bring to them to help them understand why the business is important to you, how you plan to grow this summer while still having fun, and what support from the entire family looks like. Basically, your workbook will end up being like the flow of the conversation that you'll want to have with them. And your intentions will be spelled out very clearly. And when you're clear, they're clear and can be way more understandings. These conversations are never easy, but I promise you that they will be worth it. Now, I'm not going to pause long enough as we go throughout the workbook. Like I'll say, this is in your workbook. This is in your workbook. We're not going to pause long enough for you to actually do it. And that's intentional. I don't want you doing it while we're on this call. I want you to get the high level things from today. And then I want you to go back and take some uninterrupted quality me time, grab your spindrift or, a glass of wine and take some time going through that, because when you are intentional with that, it's going to really help you come up with a solid plan. So, if you are brave, I would love to know in the chat why your business is important to you, why it is important for you to keep going this summer. For me, I know I have some really unique experiences of building a business while working a full-time job to share with the world. I have way more people to help. I have more money I want to make, right? It's a business, not a charity. And I enjoy working my business. For you, working a few hours a day may be just what you want to do. You may want to contribute to your family. You can enjoy your business, and that's okay. You should feel no guilt or shame for enjoying your business. If you are brave, put kind of why you're doing your business, why you're growing your business in the chat, and kind of anchor yourself to it. Okay, so once you go through your workbook, you'll have a really solid why you're putting in the effort. And let's now go through the mechanics of actually planning your summer for success. So, how the heck do we do this? Nikki said for her business, I enjoy having my own thing and helping other entrepreneurs reach their goals within their own businesses. I love that. Jocelyn said, I love having something for me and sharing what I'm learning with others to help them. I love that. Rihanna said, my business is important to me because 6 out of 10 people suffer from chronic illness, and I want to show them what's possible in entrepreneurship when they have solid strategies in place. I love that. Shannon said, the affiliate income I make helps my family have more fun and is a creative outlet. I love that. Yes, creative outlet. I feel like it's so underrated. Like, we're so cool about, oh yeah, let's have a craft room. But then like building a business online isn't considered creative. I'm here to tell you it is. And it's so much fun. Anna said, as a stay-at-home mom, I need something for myself. Extra money would be nice, but I need something to help me feel whole. I love that. Jackie says, my businesses are important to me because it fills my cup. They give me joy. Yes, creative outlet. I love it. Okay. So how do we do this? How do we plan our summer for success? Let's start with the fun stuff, okay? Before we ever think about business, I want you to schedule your personal activities first. Think about fun outings, bucket list items, vacations, and things you genuinely want to do. In your workbook, there are 15 fun summer activities that you might consider: going to the beach, picnic, barbecue, hiking, go to a local festival. This is like the 3rd or 4th year in a row I have not been to the fair, so that's on my list. Family game night, go to a concert. I cannot tell you the last time I went to a concert. Grow your own veggies. We did that this year. Water balloon fight, or I've seen people will use sponges instead of the plastic balloons and throw sponges at each other. That sounds fun. Theme park, camping, stargaze, volunteer, lemonade stand, make a no-bake dessert because it's too dang hot to turn your oven on right now. Your workbook has room for you to write down the things you absolutely want to do this summer. I call these my like hell yes activities, things that you've been wanting to do, things that are already planned out. Put them all down on paper and have fun with it. And once you do that, every week, I want you to go in and pencil in fun activities for every week. You can also pencil in other things that you know you're going to do this summer, like vacations, planned outings. Um, and if you don't want to do it on this like weekly schedule, you can also just put it in your regular calendar, whatever you use to manage your calendar. And then once we kind of have an idea of when our fun is going to happen, then we'll plan our work time. We cannot just wait for our office hours to magically appear within our day. We need to be intentional and figure out exactly when they will happen. And the truth is, if you want your business to pay you like a job, you need to treat it like one. You may find here that when you think about planning your work time, your brain is going to fight you on it. Our brains don't like to make plans. So they don't like make plans like this because it takes energy and it's like, oh, I'm going to actually have to do it if it's on my calendar. But the energy spent planning is so worth it and it will free up so much mind drama and brain energy down the line. Instead of thinking about, oh, what time today am I going to get to work my business? Oh no, from 9 to 11 a.m. is my working hours. And then when I'm done, when 11 o'clock rolls around, I'm done. Awesome. Some questions to ask yourself as you go through planning your office hours. And these are in your workbook. How much time do my routine tasks take me? How many hours do I realistically want to work? And this isn't about what you think you should be doing. It's about what actually works for you in your life right now. And this may mean that you need to cut something that you like to do, but it take that like things in your business that take a lot of time but don't really give you a return on investment. Like this is where we can take the axe to the chopping block and be like, well, I really love doing this one activity in my business, but it's really not impactful. It's not bringing me to where I want to be. So for this season, I'm going to put a pause on it. The best example I have here is a lot of podcasters I know take the summer off. They repost their top 8 episodes from the year over the summer and just do repost episodes. And that's totally cool. Like, I'm all about repurposing. Then I want you to ask yourself, what part of the day would it be best for me to work? I call this like my dream office hours. And when you know each week, these times, when you know what your optimum time to work would be, then you can adjust it every week based on what's going on. So, for example, last week, my dream office hours are from about 10 to noon on Tuesdays. And I had a doctor's appointment that the only time they had available for the entire month was at 10:30 last Tuesday. So I had to adjust a little bit. I worked a little bit before I left and a little bit when I got back. No big deal. Some things to keep in mind. If you have littles, your best working time might be nap time. If your kids are a little bit older, it might be first thing in the morning because you know that they're going to sleep till noon. You could also consider when you are the most productive. 10 to 2 is about my sweet spot for working. Before 10, I'm not really awake. After 2, the pool's kind of calling my name. And this is a very, very optimistic view of things. It might not be reality that you can work 10 to 2. You may need to get up early and knock out the most important things first in this season. Okay. Now, once you know kind of how many hours that you think you're going to need, now we map out our dream office hours. Let's see. I'm going to read Michelle's comment real quick. I love that, Michelle. Yes, Google Calendar and a paper planner. Use what works for you. I'm a Google Calendar girly, but I keep my running to-do list someplace else. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Okay, so now we know, okay, these are the fun things that we want to do. This is how many hours that I'm going to need to work. And now we're going to actually put our working hours onto the calendar. Note, this will change week to week as things come up, as doctor's appointments come up, as trips come up, and that's okay. Every week, I want you to take like 5 to 10 minutes, not long, and figure out what your week is going to look like and when you're going to do the fun things, when you're working. And I will warn you, not every day is going to go 100% as planned, but being intentional and having a rough idea is still 10 times better than just winging it. And this might seem really obvious, but when it's your work time, sit down and work. I had a virtual assistant that would intentionally work from exactly 10 a.m. to noon every day without fail, Monday through Friday. And outside of those hours, she was not available. Before those hours, she was not available. She knew that she had to get her kiddo off to school and then come home and care for herself first. So that was like her workout, breakfast, and then she intentionally worked for 2 hours. And then after that, she had her lunch and did laundry and whatever she needed to do for the house before it's time to go pick her kid up from school. During the summer, that would look like she would still work those same hours and her daughter would have, chores or screen time or whatever it was while she was working. But her daughter knew from 10 to 12, mom worked. And she called it clocking in. And it was so cool to see. I actually had her come train my network marketing team on that because so often I see people setting aside business hours and then not actually working during their business hours. So if you need to consider showing up for your business, like clocking in, do it. If you can work 2 hours a day, you still have 22 more hours left of your day to do whatever else you want with it. So when you are working, we will talk more about this in the third section, but don't scroll, don't organize your office, get to work. Um, we're really going to hone in on the highest impact activities in the last section. But there's 0 point in carving out time to work if you don't actually work. And I'm also going to throw out here too, work first and then do the dishes. Your brain wants to tell you to go do the dishes or start a load of laundry first because it's looking for the dopamine hit of a completed task. And I'm here to tell you that your kitchen can be a hot mess and you will be okay. Leave the dishes, do them later. Do them during family time. I would much rather your kids see you doing the dishes or help you do the dishes because that's part of everyday life. When your kids see you glued to your laptop, not so much. That's not part of everyday life. They want mom's attention. So, can you give them the attention while you do the dishes? Um, so what that means, morning time before everyone wakes up is not for dishes. Nap time is not for dishes. Work time isn't for dishes. Do your work first, then the housework. There will always be more housework. I promise you that. It can wait. Okay. Now, so we have kind of a plan. Now, how do we stick to the plan? Boundaries. I know this is a hot button topic. Setting boundaries around your fun time versus your work time is kind of the most important part. It's not fun, it can be uncomfortable, but it ensures that everyone's on the same page, including yourself. I know that when I would bring my phone into the pool and be super distracted, I wasn't giving my husband 100% of my attention. It was not quality time. So me saying, "Actually, honey, I'm going to work until noon on Saturday and then we can go in the pool in the afternoon." And then me getting into the pool without my phone, without distractions is 10 times better than me getting in the pool at 10 a.m. and working on my phone and not actually having quality rest time, quality family time. In your workbook, there is this page here where you can write down the boundaries that you are setting for yourself. I want you to spend some good time here and get really super specific. And remember that these might change season to season. Some examples include only working until noon each day, not checking emails after 7 p.m., charging your phone in the kitchen, no scrolling in bed, no work or no phone on Saturdays. Um, Actually, a really good book about that is it's called 24/6, and it's all about how they observe a full day of no technology and like the rest that comes with it. I thought it was really cool. That's like a total side note. It could look like stopping every day to take a full lunch break with your kids, like no eating at your desk. When the office door is closed, that means no interrupting. Obviously, you're going to need to make these like age appropriate depending on how old your kids are. Like, you probably can't leave your 3-year-old and say doors closed, don't come in. But your 10-year-old, you can. So, um, a couple of let me go back for a second. A couple of boundaries that I've personally set for myself in this season is no phone in the pool. That's relax time. No working on my phone after 9 p.m. Fridays at 5 p.m. is quitting time. No working past 5 p.m. on Friday. And Monday and Tuesday before I go into work is my business time, like quality, uninterrupted. I'm going to get a lot of stuff done on Monday and Tuesday. Okay. Um, and I will tell you as well that how many of you are moms? I think you're all moms here, actually. Yes, everyone that's here live is a mom. Um, I just want to tell you a little personal story of my mom worked when I was a kid. She worked a corporate job. She was top in sales for her company. She did so much work and she worked part-time at home. So sometimes she would like have to go to accounts, but most of the time she was working from home in the home office. And her office was right next to my bedroom. So she was always waking me up first thing in the morning on her speakerphone. Uh, do you remember those phones that like you could yeah, anyways, they were so loud. Anyways, so she worked from home and I knew that when she was on a call not to interrupt. And that when she was working, it was time for me to go find other things to do. And so I had my chores to do. I had, TV that I could watch. I had games I could play. And I will tell you that she taught me such a great work ethic. And so I want this mom guilt that I see that I coach on all the time of just because you're home and your kids are home does not mean that they need your undivided attention. Littles that might be like I'm looking at Anna right now. Littles that might be a little bit of a different story. Like, please don't let your kids electrocute themselves. But as they get older, they can go and have free time if that means that when you are free. So let's say you get a couple really good hours of work time and then you have a couple hours of uninterrupted family time. Does that make sense? Are you guys tracking? Yeah. So don't feel guilty that you're working from home. My mom worked from home and she's a complete badass. That's what I'm basically saying. So it might take you a little bit of trial and error to figure out what the boundaries are, what work time looks like, what it looks like with your kids home, and every season's going to look a little bit different. Even this summer versus next summer is going to look different because your kids are going to be a different age. But as we're doing this, we can also involve our family in our business goals. So my husband is awesome. He does all of my books for me. So he manages the QuickBooks. I don't even know what the login is. And he makes sure that we pay our taxes and all of those things. Um, and if you have kids, a couple ideas is can you have them help you record content? Can you have them make samples? Can you have them put labels on catalogs? How could you get them involved in your business? Um, so I feel like, okay, in your workbook, let me go back. In your workbook, there is a page called asking for help. So we know what our boundaries look like, where we could use a little bit of help. It's time to communicate them with our families. So think about where you might need support. The example that I give you is I need help with blank on blank days. So for me, I need help with making dinner on Wednesday nights because I have a call from 7 to 8 p.m. So my husband knows on Wednesdays, he's responsible for dinner. Now I do all the meal planning and I tell him what's for dinner and where to find the recipe. And that's what works for us. I also need help with my books once a month. I need quiet time in my office on Thursday afternoons to record my podcast. So if you come home before 6 p.m., please be quiet. I love you, but shut up. um, Everything that we've done up to this point in your workbook, you can bring to your spouse and ask for help. Tell them why your business is important, what your intentions are, how you're going to have fun this summer, what your boundaries look like, and where you could use a little bit of help. And wrap it up with a nice little bow and say, your help would really allow me to be more present and make more memories with you and our family. This is what I need help. This is what I need to balance it all. And this is not always an easy conversation, but I think that you will find taking a few minutes to be vulnerable and have this conversation will help make your summer the best one yet. I'm going to pause for just a moment. What is something that you could ask your spouse or your kids with help on? Put it in the chat. Some other ideas, have your kids do the dishes. Trying to think, what else do I outsource to my husband? He's responsible for the trash. That's his job. Throw any ideas that you have. This is chores around the house. Yeah, divide and conquer. Usually some of my best ideas I get from other people. So please, if you have any ideas or you have anything that you already outsourced to your family, Please put them in the comments. All right, overcoming obstacles. So we have an awesome plan here, but some weeks it's going to be a little insane and your plan will go to crap. A kid will get sick, he'll get sick, a random opportunity to do something cool will come up. For Rihanna, it might be, oh, something happened at the house and I need to go pick up a delivery. You know, the best laid plans sometimes go to crap. So this is what we call life. Life is going to happen as you are working your business, and that is okay. That is to be expected. My advice here, just pick it back up where you can. Keep going. Don't use an obstacle as an excuse to stop working hard. My friend Megan just shared in her stories, she sells the Lumi Spa to wash her face, and she every day on stories is washing her face. And I noticed the last couple of days she hadn't been, and she got home and she's washing her face and said, "Sorry, I didn't share my Lumi over the last couple of days. I forgot my cleanser for it. Like I forgot the soap, so I wasn't able to do it." But don't worry, I'm back and I'm gonna keep going. Like if you miss a day or something happens, just pick it back up and keep going. Let's see. Laundry. My daughter is in charge of doing the laundry. I love that. Hubs loves dishes and laundry. He gets to listen to podcasts or watch TV. I love that. Um, my husband will rearrange his Friday so I can get work done. I love that. All right. I grew up in a household where my dad did most of the like chores. Like he did everything from the lawn to he would help with dishes. He was the better cook. And so when I got out into the real world and I realized like, oh, husbands don't do that, I was actually very shocked. And so like, let's just challenge the status quo. Like just because it's always been like that doesn't mean that it needs to keep being like that. Kids help get laundry together. Still help get it in the washer and dryer. That's to be expected. And at age appropriate, they probably can't reach the washer. I actually have one of those top load washers and I can't reach the bottom of the washer. So I don't know how, and I'm pretty tall. So like, I'm like, how do normal people reach this? Like my mother-in-law would need a step stool because she is 6 inches shorter than me. Like, I don't even know how she'd reach that. Daughter dishes cat boxes. Husband gets the dogs fed in the morning. Oh yeah, my husband does feeds BB, waters the plants, cooks when I need him to. He's building me a house, tippy toes. I love that. You guys have such great ideas. Okay, now when it's time to sit down and work, I do want to encourage you to get this little timer. Jackie, could you find the link for this and put it in the chat for everyone? Because you're the one that originally found this. But don't buy it yet. I'm just gonna say that. Don't buy it yet if you're here live. But we will share the link with you. Staying focused amidst all the distractions is a huge challenge in the summer. Some quick techniques are like setting a timer, using a running to-do list, and noise canceling headphones. I just put them away, but the noise canceling headphones allow me to sit here and work while my husband is playing that stupid game that he plays on Saturday mornings that has the most annoying music ever. The running to-do list is also my favorite. I included it in your workbook. And this is where I go, okay, these are all the things that need to get done for the week. I don't care which days they get done, but I'm going to sit down and I'm going to focus on one and check it off as I go. This is the running to-do list is also available inside the free resource library along with some other really great time management tips and techniques. So if you have not gotten the free resource library, it's free. Scan the QR code, put your email in there, and you will get access to all of that, including community coaching call, which is coming up next week. If you have no idea what that's about, scan the QR code and go read about it. Okay. Now, the last thing that I want to encourage you to do is give yourself a little bit of time each week to map out what your week will look like. Always plan your fun stuff first, then your work time. I like to do this on Sundays when things are a little bit quieter. I look at the week ahead, plan what needs to be done, and it makes my week so much smoother. Okay. Any questions before we move on to my favorite part, the systems? Like I said, that was the longest section. And then we're going to kind of fly through the rest of this because I know your time is valuable. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, so, oh, here it is. Here's what I was going to call it. I was going to originally call this webinar Summer sustainable strategies and sales, but I decided to change it to sustainable systems in the 11th hour because it really made more sense for what we need to fit everything in the summer of talking about the systems. And then under the sales part, I'm going to talk about a couple like sales strategies. So if you see some discrepancies in any of the marketing materials, that's why, but same sort of premise for you, just a slight tweak in the name. So systems are the backbone of a smoothly running business that will run even when you're not working. So when you are out in the pool and someone comments summer below one of your posts, it will send them the link to go register and they can register while you are nowhere near your phone. When you put things into a system, you free up your time, which is your number one non-renewable resource, and your mental bandwidth for higher impact activities, things that a system can't do. And this is where we really move from being reactive to proactive in our business. Anna has that timer too. I love that. There are thousands of systems that you can put in place for your business. I am sure there's business coaches that know way more systems than what I know. Every single business is going to be totally unique, but I'm going to shout about the top 3 that I think are the most important. And I'm going to just briefly mention a couple others, but do not let this limit you. Continue to research and figure out what works best for you and your business. And as your business evolves, your systems are going to evolve. All right. The top 3 systems are a content batching system, a project management or admin system, and a calendar and booking app that work together. For my content batching, beyond the scope of this workshop, I have an entire course all about content batching. I think most of you were in my last workshop on this as well. But if you are to take a couple hours each week and plan all of your content, you will free up your brain to do so many other things. Instead of sitting in the shower thinking about what should I post today, you can think about how can I be more strategic today? And it really relieves the scrambling at the last minute, or if life happens, it's already done, ready to go. And then here's your permission slip as well. If you have a really abundant summer, do not create any new content. Reuse what you already have exactly the way it is, or maybe repurpose a reel into a static post or a static post into a reel, but you do not need to recreate the wheel this summer. This is also my favorite system for when I go on vacation. Or when my VA goes on vacation, like Jackie's going on in a couple weeks, I know I need to have my content done and ready ahead of when she leaves so she can schedule it. And so having that when I go on vacation, I'm not thinking about what I'm going to post next. It is set and ready to go. And I know I've talked to Anna about this as well. I will actually plan my content for a full week after I get back. That way, when it's like we're in the vacation blues and I just want to be on vacation again, I don't have to think about that and I can really ease back into working. The next system that I suggest everyone has is some sort of admin, project management database. I love Trello. I manage projects in there, manage tasks. I delegate tasks to Jackie, and you can use it for so many things. Just Google what all can Trello do, and you're going to find a million and one things that you can do with it. And it is free. I have a mini course all about Trello coming out in August. That will be included in the Busy Business Owners Bundle. You can go to chrissisperduto.com/courses to learn about all those. Calendar. Who has Google Calendar or like a digital calendar? Yeah. Yeah. If we don't have a digital calendar, I'm going to say, like, get on it. Because being able to be on the go, like if you're at the beach and you're like, oh, am I available? Let me just open my phone real quick. And you have it with you versus, I don't know, whenever I tried to do a paper calendar, I'd lose the calendar, I'd leave it at home. So I love Google Calendar. I time block my whole week. You can automate recurring tasks. You can automate recurring appointments. Don't sleep on the color coding. And then you can also connect it to things like Calendly. So if you are taking one-on-one clients, love Calendly. I think, Nikki, don't you use a different one? Acuity, maybe? Yeah, Acuity is another one. I just love that Calendly connects to Google, to my Google Calendar and to Zoom, and it does all the automations for me. And the cost of what I use in Calendly saves me every month from missed appointments because whoever registers for it gets texts and emails reminding them a week before, a day before, an hour before the appointment, so they don't miss the appointment. Acuity does both as well. I love it. Another couple of ideas for you, ManyChat. That is how you automate your customer communication. So if someone comments a keyword, it replies to their comment and sends them a DM. ChatGPT, Irina left, but she is my ChatGPT expert. You can use AI to draft content, emails, so many more things. Like the amount of things that you can do with that is amazing. Project Broadcast, you can use this for customer follow-up, SMS marketing, recurring reminders. For example, the roadmap students and I meet every Wednesday. So Wednesday morning, I have an automated text that goes out reminding them about the call with the Zoom link. You can use Later to schedule social media posts. If you have any other systems, any other tech that you like for your business, please drop them in the chat because I'm sure that there is more than what I know about. All right. Now, I also want you to think about where you can streamline. So instead of having to add another, piece of tech that costs money every month, where can you just free up some brain space? So think about recurring lists. You can automate calendar reminders. You can create templates for repetitive tasks like emails, podcasts, social media posts. Um, I recently started planning my stories every week. So I created a template inside of my notes app on my phone and I copy and paste it into a note every week. And the first time I did it, it took me about an hour to put it all together. But every time since, it takes me less than 10 minutes to plan my entire week. And it saves me hours of brain space thinking about, oh, what should I post to stories next? I just go down the checklist for the day as I have time. Um, so I want you to, I also use, this is another example of every week I plan a podcast episode. And I got sick of having to remember, well, what's the order that I need to do things in? So I created a checklist. It started as a template inside of Trello, and I created the checklist so it pops up every week and it has all of my links here too. So, when I go to write an outline, I don't need to go and open Google Drive and go through all the steps to find the folder it's in. I just click right here and it opens to that correct folder. Same thing with like, here's the login for Spotify. Here's the login for YouTube. And it's all just right there. And then this is also how I delegate, which we'll talk about in a second. The JB means it's for Miss Jackie. The CS means it's for me. And so we know we're on the same page of who does what and when. Okay. Now, meat and potatoes here. Delegate and delete. You can only do so many things. There's only 24 hours in the day. So it's time to offload the tasks that are not important or don't need to be done by you. Enter the Eisenhower matrix. This is also known as the urgent important matrix. You don't really need to worry about what it's named, just that it can help you prioritize your tasks every week. So it divides tasks into 4 quadrants. It's based on urgent or not urgent, important or not important. So your urgent and important tasks are tasks that you should do right now. These are tasks that require immediate attention and have consequences if they don't get completed. Think of deadlines, urgent problems, tight deadlines, customer complaints, urgent issues, time-sensitive emails. The next is not urgent, but important. So it's things that need to get done, but maybe not right now. This involves planning, strategizing, relationship building. Schedule these tasks to ensure that they get done. You can also look at, so then there's also not important and urgent. These are tasks that need to be done quickly, but don't necessarily require you to do them. These can be delegated to others, freeing up your time for more important activities. Scheduling social media posts, responding to routine customer inquiries, basic admin tasks. Not urgent and not important are items that you can delete. That's the easiest one to get off your list, right? Scrolling through social media without a purpose, engaging in activities that don't align with your business goals. Ask yourself, does this really need to be done? No, get rid of it. There is a sample matrix inside your workbook. And, whenever you feel like you have too many things to do, grab that matrix and just kind of write it out. What all do I need to get done and where does it fit in here? And start deleting, delegating, push that to next week and do these items first. I want to dive just a little bit more into delegation because this is one of my top suggestions for overwhelmed business owners, or in this case, business owners that want to spend less time at their desk and more time in the sun this summer, right? We want to put on our flower hat and we want to get out by the pool. So there are only so many hours in the day. We cannot possibly do it all. So stop trying to be Superwoman. Okay. Um, if anyone watched my stories this weekend, they'll understand the bananas. Okay, so you can consider delegating or outsourcing personal tasks such as Instacart for grocery shopping. Who saw the banana incident this weekend? So if you were not there for the banana incident, Instacart asked me, I went to go check out and it was like, do you want to add these frequently purchased items? And I saw a banana and I was like, yes, I'll add one banana to the cart because I can use that with my protein shake. And then in the cart, it was like 29 cents because I always try to make sure the produce matches the price. And I'm like, 29 cents for one banana sounds right. Well, what I didn't realize was there was a glitch in the Instacart system and it was 1 times 40 pounds of bananas for 29 cents. I don't know how that happened, but the guy messaged me and I was actually in the pool. And so I didn't see the message. And he's like, do you really want 40 pounds of bananas? And by the time I replied to him, it was like he had already checked out and was on my way. And I was like, there was no way he bought 40 pounds of bananas. I didn't weigh them, but there were 13 bunches of bananas. So Instacart is not always perfect, but sometimes it gives you really funny stories. There was a time I got 5 pounds of jalapenos instead of 5 jalapenos. It's not always perfect. Sometimes they mess up. But then we just pivot, right? If they don't bring enough green beans, let's grab some frozen veggies from the freezer and run with it. But it has saved me so many hours and so much energy. I really didn't realize how much energy going to the grocery store took from me. Like, I feel like when I go now, when I get home, I need a nap. You can also hire a housekeeper, lawn service. And remember, when you use these, you're giving someone else a job. Like someone else runs a housekeeping business. Someone else runs a lawn service business. You're supporting their business. I think a lot of us probably grew up with parents that did it all. And here's your permission slip that you do not have to do it all. It is a-okay to outsource. Using a laundry service, I was actually pleasantly surprised that, Shannon, you might look into this. The laundry, the dry cleaner across the street has it's $100 a month for unlimited laundry, and they will come pick it up and drop it off and fold it. Like, if my housekeeper didn't do that, I would probably outsource my laundry. I'm not even gonna lie. That sounds amazing. Giving your kids chores, asking your spouse for help, which we already talked about. And then in your business, you can also do things like hiring a VA for admin work, schedule post-it emails. You can hire someone to do your bookkeeping, someone to manage your social media. But you're probably thinking, but I don't have money to outsource these things. I don't have money to delegate. I want you to say, I don't have money to delegate yet. Okay. In the next section, we're going to discuss some tactile ways to make money so you can afford to delegate some of these tasks. And I just want to encourage you, as soon as you can afford to do some of these things, please do it because it frees up your time to go do the things that do make you money. Okay. Here are a couple of ways in the meantime, some creative solutions to help you get more work done in your business, kind of in the outsourcing world. Childcare swaps. So, hey, will you take my kids for 4 hours today? And then on Friday, I'll take your kids for 4 hours. Because it takes just as much energy to watch 3 kids as it does to watch 5 kids. Or so I've been told. And plus then your kids get to play with other kids, right? Okay. You can get up early or stay up late for some focused work time. You can work on your lunch break. I like to do that. I'll pack my lunch. I spend the first 15 minutes eating my lunch and the next 30 minutes working my business on my laptop in the cafeteria. If you commute, I posted about this last week to my stories. Can you leave a little bit earlier and your commute be shorter. Here in DFW, that is definitely a thing. If I from my old house, if I left at 5:45, I would get to work at 6:15. If I left at 5:50, I wouldn't get to work until 6:40. So I saved myself 25 minutes a day by leaving 5 minutes earlier. If I had gone a little bit further and left at 5 instead of 5:45, I could have had a whole hour of work time in the parking lot or in the break room before I started work. Um, let's see. Crockpot meals, doing leftover nights, make stupid simple meals. Like I'm talking like have turkey sandwiches for dinner. You can assign cooking days to your spouse or kids. When I was in high school, my chore was to cook every night of the week because my parents didn't have time to cook. Give your kids chores. You don't need to do the dishes. And remember, 80% is what you're going to get out of your kids or your husband. Be okay with that. 80% done by someone else is still better than you having to do it yourself. And then saying no. I had someone ask if I could do something the other day, and I was like, I'm really sorry. In this season, I can't. I just don't have the bandwidth. All right. All right, Anna, what's the monkey? Oh, for the bananas. I was like, what's the monkey emoji for? All right. We are on our last section. I know we're at an hour. I'm sorry. I just have too much to say today. If you have to go, I understand, and I will get the replay posted as soon as I can. Any questions before we go to the next section? No? Okay. We are going to talk about, so we freed up time. We're doing fun things. We freed up time. We've outsourced as much as we can. Now, what do we actually do when we get to work? We are going to do high impact activities that leads to conversion and growth. So first we need to know what those are, right? Some examples include client outreach and relationship building, follow up for current customers, marketing, so that's emails, texts, ads, networking, collaborations, client onboarding. Okay. Not high impact activities include making Canva graphics. I know this is our creative outlet, but spending a whole bunch of time in Canva is not making you money. Bookkeeping, managing inventory, scrolling for inspiration, listening to podcasts, doing endless trainings. As I tell you that while you're on a training, these are not making you money. They are part of running a business, but if you're scrapped for time, they're not the things that you should be focused on. Okay. In your workbook, this is going to kind of walk you through. You'll be able to identify what your high impact activities are, what your high impact activities are not. So you are sure to do those activities during your work time. A quick couple of suggestions for when it comes to social media. And I see so much confusion when it comes to social media, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, how much we should do. Let's just focus on the strategies that have the greatest impact and are the most sustainable. So first is networking. So figure out where your clients hang out and engage with them. Become friends with them. Engage with your audience daily. Post meaningful comments, offer advice, reply to their stories, share content that resonates with you. Be authentic and be genuine in your interactions. Try to engage with people that have like around the same number of followers as you. Like someone that has 100,000 followers and you have 200 followers probably is not going to engage back with you. Engage with people that are kind of in the same phase of business as you. Or is your ideal client. If you know who your ideal client is, engage with them. Keep in mind that the apps are really designed to keep people on the app and they reward people that help them do that. So when you comment, people look at the comments, stay on the app. You get bonus points for that. The app will push more of your content out to those people. Focus on getting to know people and being a real human on the internet. Like I would rather see you do 5 really intentional interactions a day than 50 kind of half-assed ones. I also encourage all of my students to have a create first mentality. So I always say you have to post before you scroll. Create your content first before you give yourself time to scroll. And when you're posting, be yourself. Authenticity is like one of the #1 driver of content right now. So, so important. You also need to create impactful content. You want content that provides value, sparks conversations, and showcases your offers, how you can help people. Think about what you would like to see, how this might help your ideal client, what they need to hear today. And if you need help with your content, be sure to tune into our next monthly community content coaching call, which will be on Tuesday. Keep an eye on your email for more info on that soon. And then unfollow your competition. Do not compare your step 3 to someone else's step 30. And I find that when you follow your competition, you start to sound like them. I want you to sound like you. So unfollow the people that are doing the same things as you. A couple of simple sales strategies for you. We are not running a charity here. So what is something that you can do to get some sales this summer? So one of the things that my coach always has me do is when I say like, I want to get more sales. Okay, well, how many sales? For what? In what time period? She makes me set a specific goal. So I want you to, in your workbook, write down a specific sales goal for the next month. For example, sell 5 instant access courses in July, make $1,500 in sales, sign 3 new clients. When you have a goal, your brain starts to work at solving the problem, at solving for that goal. Keep it really simple, especially during the summer. Keep your offers simple, keep them easy to understand. You don't need to go create another offer. Streamline what you're doing, and then give it time to work. Sales take time. People need to see an offer upwards of 7 times before they'll purchase. So be really patient, be consistent. Now, I want to give you permission here. You do not need to go do anything complicated this summer. You do not need to launch anything new. You do not need to rework your website. You don't need to recreate the wheel. The summer can literally be an hour a day of rinse and repeat the same content, the same offers over and over and over. Save the new launches for the fall when you have more time to work on them. Okay? All right. Copywriting is also a sales strategy that I want you to kind of work on. It is a skill that can significantly impact your sales. And we don't have time for a super deep dive here since I'm already over time, but I want to give you a few high level things to think about when it comes to writing your content. I do a much deeper dive into copywriting, into how to speak to your ideal client, all of those sorts of things inside my signature course and group coaching program, the New Business Roadmap. So if you feel like you need a lot of help with sales systems, you love the idea of groupthink to keep you accountable, you may consider joining the roadmap. Maybe not in this season, maybe in the fall when there's a little bit more time, but just shoot me a message for more info on that program. Okay, high level copywriting tips. Focus on the transformation your client will have. They are here now, but after your offer, they will be here. They don't need the in between, how you'll get them there, but they need you to be confident that you can take them from here to here. Get them to the finish line. Use clear language. Don't get fancy. It confuses people. Address your audience's pain points with how your offer solves them. So they are feeling stuck in X with your solution. Y, they're going to get to Z. Hook them in. What stops their scroll? What stops your scroll? And remember, when people are scrolling, they're using their lizard brain. Like they're just zoning out. Keep it so simple. Okay. Now, for making asks. So we have content, we have copywriting, we have all of the things working in our business. We have a goal to hit. Now it's time to actually ask for the sale. Do not be afraid to ask for the sale. Your audience is not paying attention to your content as much as you think that they are. But if they don't know what you offer, how can they buy it? So be clear, be direct, let your audience know exactly how they can work with you, how they can buy from you. And I've included a blank in your workbook so you can set an intention of how many days per week you will make a call to action related to your offer. And you can even, if you want to, you can break that down to I will make 5 public call to action and I will make 10 one-on-one call to actions. I've noticed recently my public call to actions are not quite as powerful as my one-on-one asks. That if I send someone a message, hey, I was thinking about you in this problem you mentioned one time. I'm creating this offer and I think it would be perfect for you. Or I have this and I think it would be perfect for you. Okay. We covered a lot today. I know we're already over time, so thank you for sticking with me. I hope that you gain a few really tangible ideas and have a really amazing summer with some of these principles. Your summer can be simple and rewarding, both in your personal life and your business. Here's a But now it's time to take these ideas that we talked about and put them to work. I want you to commit. I want you to decide the decision that you can have a fun and a productive summer, and don't let procrastination or distractions derail you. Commit to focused work periods, sit down and do the dang thing. Get to work during your work time, and always aim for 80%. Perfectionism is the enemy of progress. Done is better than perfect. I have a whole podcast episode about this. And let's talk a little bit about the next steps. So, if we are not friends yet on social, I'd love to connect. I think we all are. Everyone that's here live. But I release little mini trainings sort of like this every Wednesday on the podcast, Do the Dang Thing podcast. And I also offer a free community content coaching call once a month. The next one is coming up on next Tuesday. I would love to see you there. And that is one of the very many resources inside of the free resource library. And I know that I provided you so many amazing tools and resources. You might be a little bit overwhelmed right now, and that is to be expected. Comb through the workbook, tune into your intuition, and ask yourself, what would you like your summer to look like? Trust your gut. Take what worked for you from this workshop and forget about the rest. Who cares? Even if that was only one little nugget that you took. But I will tell you that if you need a little bit of extra help setting and sticking to boundaries, there's Lisa. um, or you realized after today that your business has a big hole in it, you're like, I don't have any systems. Or holy cow, I really need to implement this. Or you're like, this kind of put a fire under my butt and I'm really ready to get to work. It is time, my friend. I have a very special offer for you just this summer. Okay. If you'd like to take what you did in this work in your workbook a little bit further, another step further, I am offering a one-time strategy and mindset call for $129. You have two options when it comes to this call. The first is we can go through your workbook and really solidify your plan for the summer, or we can go through one specific area of your business that you need help with. Maybe it's boundary setting, maybe it's copywriting, maybe it's clarifying your offer. You are the CEO, so you get to decide what we talk about during our time together. But in my opinion, this summer is the perfect opportunity to really set a strong foundation for the fall and those inevitable winter and holiday sales, okay? If you're really serious and have a fire under your butt and you're thinking, Chrissy, I need help with so many things, I currently have capacity for 5 one-on-one clients this summer. Surprisingly, the summer is the least busy time of my year while everyone else is kind of going bananas. See what I did there? My schedule is actually pretty wide open. We do most of our traveling in the fall and the spring, and we're actually home for months at a time. So my schedule is wide open. And since you took the time to be here today and you've already set a really great foundation for your summer, I am offering 10-week coaching packages from July 1st to August 31st. And we pick one specific day of the week and we meet either every week or every other week. And we work through a very specific area of your business. And so the first call, we really plan out what we're going to talk about every week. And it is so great to set an intention of what you'd like to accomplish in your business, streamline your processes, work on your mindset, get things done with the accountability of, oh, I'm going to be meeting with Chrissy here in a couple days. I better get my shit together. On the first call, like I said, we will iron out our plan of action for the 10 weeks. So you have a roadmap to follow to make sure that you get every last penny out of your investment. I cannot do the work for you, but I can provide an immense amount of clarity, new ideas, accountability. So you keep working towards your goals, even when you don't feel like it. So when everyone else is kind of taking their foot off the accelerator, you can be adding fuel to the fire and getting your back end systems cleaned up. So in the fall, you can be really completely unstoppable. Or if you're ready to put a ton of fuel on the fire this summer, you're like, you know what? My kids are in 10 camps this summer and I have all the time in the world. We can also fuel you up to have a very profitable summer right here, right now. Okay. Another option, if you are like that second person that I just said, you have tons of time this summer and you're ready to get your booty to work. I'll also let you know that enrollment for the new business roadmap is open. When I created this webinar, I sat and I really, really thought about what would you need? And my gut told me it was not to start a course with 120 lessons and weekly group coaching calls. It was a tailored one-on-one attention. That's what I thought that you would need. But I would not be doing my job without telling you about this as well. This is a resource for you that can help you answer a lot of strategy, sales aspects, kind of a few of the things that we covered in the last section, a little bit more in depth. And it also comes with 3 free months of group coaching, which is a much more affordable option than one-on-one coaching. So you get the course plus 3 months of group coaching. For the investment is going to be $8.95 after the coupon that I gave you today. This is what's included in the membership, which you get for 3 months. And then, yes, I have a $100 off coupon for you today that expires on June 30th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. But that's kind of a lot to think about. So you have plenty of time to think about it. Both of those offers are good through June 30th at 11:59 p.m. And if you're not sure if one-on-one is the right bet or the roadmap, or you have specific questions, or you're like, I don't even know. I need some clarity just on the webinar. I have opened up my calendar for 15-minute one-on-one calls so we can chat about your business, your goals, any concerns that are coming up. Even if we've already met one-on-one before, you can book another free one-on-one chat with me. And we can just kind of talk about the first step of what to do after this webinar, unique for your business. Just scan the QR code and it's going to open up my Calendly for you. And I will tell you, I will not be offering this many one-on-one spots in the fall because that's my busy time of the year, or at this price ever again. So I hope that you feel like a VIP right now and can bet on yourself, take the leap and invest in your growth. And I also have kind of limited spots on my calendar just because of the way that my work schedule works. So if you want the most options as far as when we will get together every week for the one-on-one coaching spots, reach out to me as soon as you can. I expect all 5 spots to actually sell out. So I don't want you waiting till the last second and not be able to work together because you can't find the right time that works for you as well. These offers, the coupon, the coaching packages, everything will expire June 30th at 11:59 p.m. Central. And because the fall is my busy season, I'm going to do something similar again, but the price will reflect that I'm busier in the fall. So if you want this summer to look a little bit different than last summer did, you might need more accountability than just my quarterly webinars or my free monthly coaching calls. And if you've been coming to my free calls, you've attended my $9 trainings, you've binged my podcast, you have all the free resources and you still feel like there's something missing, I'm going to have a heart to heart with you right now. Sometimes it takes getting a little uncomfortable to find your growth. I will never, ever forget my first $1,000 investment. It hurt. It was scary. I still think about it sometimes, but you know what? It changed me. Before I ever even opened a lesson or attended a call, I was a different business owner. I was a business owner that took myself seriously. I was a business owner that invested. And that same level of commitment can change things for you too. Coaching has changed my life personally, professionally, and I know that it can change yours as well. Okay, that is all that I had. Does anyone have any questions? Anything that you need more clarity on? And if you know anyone that could use today's webinar, the recording and workbook are going to stay up on my website, chrissisperduto.com/summer. I was originally going to take it down, but I think this is such important information, not even just for the summer, that I'm going to keep it up and probably repurpose today's webinar into a podcast episode. So please, please, please share this with someone that needs it. Any questions before we go to our prize drawing?
I was going to urge you to do prize drawing. I sent you a video already.
Oh, on text? Okay, here we go. Okay, now for our prize drawing.
Yeah.
Let's see if
I started listening. So
okay, our prize drawing. The reason why I said don't buy the the timer yet is because that's the prize drawing. I actually have it right here on my desk. Okay. Jackie sent me a video. I'm not gonna play it because then I gotta change screens again. Let's see. All right. It was Tracy. Congratulations, Tracy. Okay. Now, you guys have been so amazing, and thank you so much for staying all the way till the end. I'm sorry that I went over time, but I have one more prize drawing for you. It is a coffee gift card. You get to pick the coffee place, since I know that's a personal decision. We've had lots of talks about that. But to enter to win, just share one takeaway from today's webinar to your stories and tag me, Chrissi Sperduto, on Instagram or Facebook, and I will draw for a winner and announce it to stories. And if you include the link in your story, I will put, you get 2 entries. So thank you so much for joining me today. If anyone got a picture, could you send it to me? Because my camera's set up over here. Oh, I guess I could do it. Whatever. Did anyone get a picture?
Can you do the screen without like the words
Yeah.
on it so we can do a group picture?
Yes.
I only see 6, so I'm not sure if that.
I think people
Let me
were
see.
trickling off. It's fine.
Okay. Right. Smile. Let me.
Sweet. I got one too.
Okay.
Well, thank you, ladies, for staying all the way to the end. Any questions or anything? Awesome. 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 Well, thank you for coming, and I will talk to you guys again very soon.
I just sent those to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi Sperduto. If you know someone that could benefit from today's chat, please send this episode their way. Also, I love to see what you're doing while you listen. Share what you're up to while you listen to today's episode and tag me in your stories at Chrissi Sperduto for a shout out. Plus, while you're there, hit follow for even more tips, behind the scene views of what I do in my business, and plenty of encouragement for you along your business journey. If you'd like to explore more resources and learn how we can work together through one of my online programs or through one-on-one coaching, head to chrissisperduto.com. Please always remember that you are not alone on this adventure. I am always rooting for you. Until next time, keep doing the dang thing. Bye!